and welcome to your week 1 video for the Sunday Morning Beer Drinkers. As you may have guessed, I have moved into my new house. I do have a wonderful technology setup, which I can't show you, but does include this very fancy backdrop type thing from IKEA. It's fantastic. So I got that. We have a fancy new app that we're playing on this year. You love it. I know. Believe me, I heard you. So I'm going to try to highlight some of the positives because y'all are negative Nellies. And at the end of this year, you know, if you want to go back to ESPN so bad, show up to the beer drinking party and raise your hand and we'll go through a democratic process and maybe we'll go back. As it is, I have, close to $100 invested in fun little mascots for you guys. So we're going to stick with it for the year and see how it works. I sent a very mean tweet today to Sleeper HQ. So hopefully we'll see some, feedback from that. That's really all that we can hope for, right? Is just for more performance updates. It seems like it was widely reported, and I believe that they are working on it. So, moving on. I will also tell you that I have some fancy new programs. Gone are the days of PowerPoint, and I am completing this year's videos on Wondershare Filmora, and it's very fancy because I can do some fancy things. And this is only going to be like a little fancy today, and hopefully you get more fancy, and then you guys will nominate me for like commissioner of the forever and the best forever. Is what I hope for. I can do things like this. Let's just kind of get right on into the games of the week and the scores. Some fun things that I can do are like look right over here, and there it is. There's the scores. They're just right here over my shoulder, and you can see what they are. And I can see them, but now you can see them. And that's fun. And so I can talk and you can look, and we can do things like, I'm going to pop some things in. For example, the Sleeper app sent out a weekly report. I didn't know that was coming, but it came. And it gave me lots of substance, things to talk about on the TV, which is what I'm going to do right now. Let's highlight things like the best manager of the week. Kevin Lane. Because he set his lineup, he didn't, the way I interpret it, he didn't bench shitty players. No, he didn't bench good players. He benched all the shitty players, which gets him manager of the week. He was also underperformer of the week. But I'm not going to highlight that. I didn't snip that one. Just the good stuff for old Kevy. If y'all pin 15s, go buddy! This is not, your kid's mixed softball, t-ball league, though. Not everybody's going to get a pat on the back. Michael Bentler. Yeah, it's doing it. Michael Bentler, worst manager. Why? I think because he put good people on his bench. I think that's what it is. I don't know. They could just be reading into like his personality, how much he loves. I don't know. But it made him the worst. They called him the worst manager this week. Sorry, Mikey. The biggest blowout, which I know. I know because I did it. And it's right here. That was me. Poor Cole. Poor Poor Cole. He had a good week. Not the best week that anybody's ever had, but it was good. Garrett Premel barely pulled off a win by the skin of his teeth, and taking out your boy, my boy, Johnny Swells, Johnny Soling, to knock him down a peg. And at least that perfect record's out of the way, right? Right. A couple other things of note. The high score, which is me, with 164.9. Low score, Michael Bentler, 101.25. The overachiever is also me. and then, like I said, I didn't snip this one, but Kevin came in below expectation because he didn't reach his projection. So apparently they're going to penalize you on that. So that's all the fun stuff that I have here. And if you appreciate what I've done with the place, go ahead and let me know. I do love to hear about how well I'm doing. And we're going to move right into the review of the scores.
All right, here we go. Breaking down the league matchups one by one this week. Coming in with 164.9 points against Cole's 116.85 points was the pain. Kyler Murray and Josh Jacobs went off. Deshaun Watson returned a good amount of value for where Cole got him a whole round after Kyler Murray. But my first round draft pick running back outdid Cole's first round draft pick running back by the skin of his chinny chin chin. And then Cole's late start, Kerryon Johnson, was not able to put together much of a day. Adam Thielen had 26 points, which was good for number 2 in the league. And funny enough, Devontae Adams had 27.6 points, which wasn't good enough for number 1 in the league. Where the separation came, I believe, was in the starting tight ends, where Mark Andrews, who fell to me in the 4th round, outperformed George Kittle of the San Francisco 49ers. And of course, the New England Patriots, the big separator. The New England Patriots defense scored 21 points against the Lions 2. The next matchup, old Phil Salty Saltness, salt of the earth, going up against your boy Rock Out with your Hawk Out, John Garner. Phil pulled one out by the skin of his teeth this week. Go ahead and start. Russell Wilson for 43 points. It didn't feel bad. It felt so good while we were all watching it. I know I was jumping for joy on that fourth down touchdown, and I'm sure old Salty Salt was too. Big surprise out of Josh Allen, really, though. I mean, some people were projecting that he was going to do pretty well this year, but despite his 2 fumbles, recorded 2 touchdowns in the air and 1 touchdown on the ground. So Buffalo may have something going, although they were just playing the Jets. Unfortunately, Saquon Barkley didn't show up for Phil, but Dalvin Cook sure did after getting his big extension. Melvin Gordon looked pretty good, returning the 12 points you like to see from a running back. Phil also going full homer status, started DK Metcalf, netting 15.5 points. John's wide receiving core could have showed up a little bit harder, but John didn't have that one big scorer. His number 1 wide receiver, Chris Godwin, only came in with 8.9, and he got a tackle. It says right here. Pretty lame day for the tight ends on both squads. The defensive players didn't notch huge marks, and the defenses were not bad, but not great, as the Buffalo Bills defense outscored the Colts 18-13, giving Phil Saltness his first win of the season and relegating John to the losers bracket. There's not a losers bracket. It's not a thing. I just made that up. The tall one Colts notched a victory, 127.95 against Puyallup Penn 15s, who, against the best manager in the league, according to Sleeper Stats. Matt Stafford and Dak Prescott duked it out to equally mediocre days. Christian McCaffrey outdueled Derrick Henry, and it looks like that's kind of where John made the most of his money, was in that running back area, right? Because he got 25 points, over 20 points from both of his running backs. And while Kevin's running backs did not have a bad day, they did not keep up with what John's did. Kind of a mediocre day for Kevin's wide receiving core as well, as DeAndre Hopkins and Robert Woods both went over 10 points. Travis Kelce looking good in his first outing, 50 yards and a TD, exactly what you want to see. But that 49ers defense, though, not looking so hot, giving up 24 points and only getting 2 sacks and a forced fumble. Whew, not great, but good enough to get that first win for Tall John. Next up is the comeback kid, Josh Kessie Kessler, versus the reigning champion of the Sunday morning beer drinkers, Michael Bentler. 135.35 to 101.25 was the score. Let's see how that broke down. Equally good weeks from the quarterbacks. However, Ben Roethlisberger's a waiver wire start, and Patrick Mahomes is was he number one? Was he Kevin's number one pick? Might have been Kevin's number one pick. Who knows? The rookie Clyde Edwards-Helaire looking great, and Bentler had kind of a rough go with his running back core. Both Nick Chubb and Le'Veon Bell not putting up the numbers that he would hope to see. James Conner had a pretty bad day before going out with injury. But look at this. The wide receiving core for old Joshy Poo really making a difference here. Julio Jones starting 2 Atlanta wide receivers. Not a standard strategy, a conventional strategy, I would say, but it paid off in this respect. 15.7 for Jones and 24.9 for Ridley. Michael Gallup not exactly showing up, and not a Dallas really showed up, did they? They were just kind of rah. But Robbie Anderson, that was a gutsy start, a waiver wire start from Bentler, and that looks pretty dang good. Rob Gronkowski got a start and managed to notch 2 of 3 receptions for 11 yards, so not exactly what you want to see. But the Tennessee tight end Smith was able to reel in a touchdown and save the start for himself. And both defenses look like they were pretty good, we would say, in the biz. And the last matchup of the day, the West Coast Bulldogs, Garrett Premel going up against Jay Swell, who had a valiant effort for a comeback, but was unable to complete the deal. Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers both having stellar days. Aaron Rodgers, however, got picked up in the umpteenth round, as where Lamar Jackson was drafted in the second. Alvin Kamara looking good. Just as good, as a matter of fact, as Chris Carson, who probably nobody really saw coming. The running backs for both teams pretty even, and that's kind of the tone that you're going to see throughout this matchup. Mike Evans and Michael Thomas, T.Y. Hilton and Cooper Kupp all having subpar weekends, but Darius Slayton for the New York Giants pulling down 2 TDs, while Juju Smith-Schuster was also good for 2 touchies. The rest of the teams, fairly unremarkable, all under 10 points, but that Chicago's Bear defense, though, only going in for 2 points. Only good for 2 points, which is a rough beat for your boy Jay Swell. So that is our recap of the weekend's fun and the scores. And I can't wait to talk to you guys again next week.
Week 1's in the books. Week 1 review is in the books. I think I'll probably try to keep next week's to under 15 minutes, but I was having a lot of fun playing with some things, doing new stuff. Oh, very exciting. It took a really long time. So Internet High Five. We did it. We made it. And let's go for week 2. Good luck, everybody. Except for you, Kessler. I hope you suck.